Hello, my name's Joel. I'm a journalism graduate from Nottingham Trent University, and I'm here to tell you about my experiences with Ataxia UK. I've had the great privilege over the last year during my final year at university of working with the people at Ataxia UK and the people that are a part of that community, and just wanted to share some of my experiences with them. But first, I thought I would share my relationship with Ataxia with you and give a bit of background about how I got involved with the community. So for as long as I can really remember, my granddad was diagnosed with ataxia, and it was always something that we never really knew too much about. It was always sort of not much that doctors could tell us, to be honest. And during my final year at university, I was told that my dissertation project could be based on anything that I wanted to find out more about, and I thought ataxia was something that I wanted to learn more about. As he passed away last year, and yeah, so I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to explore that a bit more. After doing quite a bit of research, I found obviously Ataxia UK, the biggest ataxia charity in the country, and reached out to them to see if they would be able to support me. And I got contacted back by Sue Millman, the chairman, and we had a great conversation. And she sort of gave me full support in this project, which I can't thank her enough for. And from there, I've just been given basically everything for this project by the incredible people at Ataxia UK, putting me in contact with neurologists as well as other people in the community with ataxia, so I could hear their stories and put together a piece of work in the end that I was extremely proud of, and a piece of work that I was proud to show my family and I'm proud for other people to see, which is online. My experience and encounter during the course of this project with the ataxia community was something that was a real eye-opener for someone who wanted to know for so long about ataxia but hasn't been able to really, to hear the stories of those with ataxia I spoke to, such as Georgia, Dan, and Naomi. It was really something that gave me a lot of new perspective on ataxia, and to hear them stories and them to be kind enough to share their stories was really something that I found really honoured to be able to hear and privileged to be able to share. I think when hearing all of these people's stories, there was sort of one common theme that I always came across, and it was something that Richard Brown pointed out to me as well, a member of the Ataxia UK community, and it was the fact that ataxia doesn't limit you. It's rather people around you that limit you, create limitations on you, and that's something that has gave me new perspective on disability, if you wanted to call it disability, even so. But it really did change my perspective on how I see these people's lives, and there needs to be a better understanding of what these people are going through, and rather than putting limitations on them and putting limitations on yourselves, it should be more about helping each other, building each other up, so you can live as happy and normal lives as anyone else. Because why shouldn't you? This shouldn't be a limitation on you. It's other people who create disabilities. Ataxia isn't a disability. That really is one of the biggest things that I took from my experience with Ataxia UK. It is just about ataxia isn't a disability, and it's just learning to live with it and helping other people who don't have ataxia or know about ataxia, because it's a very not very well known condition. It's about helping raise awareness to them, and being a part of this community is the first step in helping to do that. So many people are part of the community who are dedicated to making you and other people in the community feel happy by sharing experiences, knowledge, and it's all just very positive and inspiring, to be honest. Being able to be a part of that over the last year and hear people's stories and then be open to share them with me, like I say, it's been a privilege, and just to hear how much each individual I spoke to, despite how they may be treated in some situations, they are still continuing to move forward and not let it keep them down, is extremely inspirational. And I'm sure you'll hear their stories at some point if you're here, and you'll be able to share your stories also, and then each of you will have new perspectives on things, as I do now because of being a part of this. And that's what this is all about, I think, and that's why it's important to be a part of the Ataxia UK community, to build new relationships with people who may be in similar positions to yourself, and it really does help to create a more positive outlook, because as many people I spoke to said, it can seem quite difficult at the beginning, of course, but I'm speaking from a perspective, an outsider's perspective, but things from the people I spoke to do get better, and you do learn to live with it, and you do learn to move forward. And in my experience of making this project, it was just incredible to see where people may have started during their diagnosis period, and now to where they've come now, going on to university, going on to take on serious, making the decisions to go through with serious brain surgeries, or getting married when you might not have thought that was ever something that would be possible. It's really just things that, of course, are possible, but might not seem like it at the time. And yeah, I can't stress enough, being a part of this community, you'll realise that if you're feeling down at some point, you'll realise that very soon on, and you'll realise that you've got a family here